configure a free radius or any radius server with the D400, most of the job will be done by your IT. So the radius itself will be set up by your IT. But in case that you want to do it for a testing purpose or a lab purpose, I mean, you can get hold of any free radius server. So let's say that you have installed the free radius software. I've got a couple of webinars to show you how to install the free radius server. So if you want to refer to other YouTubes on the free radius and how does it, how to install it, there is a cybersecurity YouTube that will show you how to install the free radius. So once the free radius is installed, what you will need to do is you will need to edit the files of the free radius. So I'm going to show you how to edit the files of the free radius. First, under your client's conf table, you will need to put the IP address of your D400, and you would need to put the 24 port, and the secret is you use a secret word regardless of what's this is the shared secret word which you will need during the D400 configuration, and a short name for the network. Okay. In the dictionary where you define the GE dictionary, you can define the GE roles and what each role is, and then in the users you can define each user name and the password for that user, the GE D400 user role for each user. Now these roles need to be also repeated in the D400 configuration. Okay, so just to show you that, so the way it works, if you are under version 3.2 of the D400, just to know your versions, so once I log into the D400, I would type in root, GE root. This is, I'm just logging in using serial login. And as you can see, my firmware release is version 320. So then I can type the command to run the configuration. In this case, it will be the D400 CFG. Okay. I will get a menu. All right. And in this menu, I want to configure authentication, right? And then we want to enable the remote authentication. So we can enable the radius or disable the radius. So of course we want to enable the radius on it. And then it will ask us for the IP of the radius server. If you're running free radius on your computer, then that will be the IP address of your computer. If you're running, if your IT have a free radius server running, you'll get obviously the IP address of that radius server from your IT team. Okay, so in this case, I will use my IP address, which is 1.100. So now I've configured the IP address of my radius server. It's asked me for the secret word. Remember, I said that during the configuration of the radius server, you will need to get your secret word. In this case, we're using test 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to use that, test 1, 2, 3. Right? Do you want to save the changes? Yes. All right. And my radius server has been configured in the D400. In the newer version of the D400s, you will be able to put all the roles through this textual interface. In the 3.2 and older versions, which is I'm working with 3.2, you can only add the administrators to the list of users. So if I go into the administrator group user, number 6, all right, I can list my users. I've got 2 users here. I've got the admin user, which is, if I go under my users, right? So we have configured the admin user. The password of the admin user is on the server or the radius server remote to the D400. So I've added an admin user, administrator user. and I've given him an administrator role, so he's part of my administrator. So now I can log into the administrator user as an administrator. So I can go 5 back, 7, 17, okay, and log out. Okay, now that we have enabled the remote radius authentication, if we type supervise, so let's put this a little bit to the side here so that you can see it. Okay, so we've got admin user. This is my free radius server it's running. Okay, so if I type in here supervisor super $123, right? It goes to the radius server. It doesn't authenticate locally, and it says username or password is incorrect. It wouldn't allow me to log in. Okay, if I put admin user and I put the password that's on my radius server, which is admin pw. Okay, now it allows me access because it has authenticated with the server.